Today we are going to talk about the science of getting rich.
Okay, picture this. It's 1910, and a book comes out that makes this absolutely wild claim. It says, getting rich, well, it's not about luck, and it's not even about talent. It's an exact science, just like algebra. That book is The Science of Getting Rich, and today we're going to dive in and see exactly what this supposed formula is all about. So this really brings us to the core question, right? Is getting rich actually a science? I mean, can you really boil it down to a formula, something as reliable as, say, gravity? It's a pretty bold idea, especially when you remember this was written way back in 1910. And the Buck's answer? Oh, it's a hard yes. Wattles basically says, look, if you just follow these specific laws and do things in what he calls a certain way, then getting rich isn't a maybe, it's a mathematical certainty. So what in the world is this science? Let's get into it, starting with the very first principle. All right, first things first. Before we even touch the how-to part, the book lays down a really important foundation. It's all about the why. See, Wattles argues that becoming rich isn't just something you might want. He says it's your fundamental right. And you know, the definition of rich is super important here. This isn't about greed or just hoarding cash. It's about having the means, for books, for travel, for art, basically for anything you need to fully develop your mind, your body, and your soul. So when he talks about wanting to be rich, what he's really talking about is wanting to live a full, complete life. Okay, so with that philosophical groundwork in place, let's get into the nuts and bolts. And trust me, this is where things start to get, well, pretty out there. So the entire system, the whole thing, it hinges on this one big idea, the certain way. The book claims that anyone who's ever gotten rich, whether they knew it or not, was following this exact method. It's not about being a genius or being in the right place at the right time or even being thrifty. Nope. It's all about following a very, very specific process. All right, and here's where we get to the most abstract idea in the entire book. And it's also the most important, so bear with me here. The theory is that everything in the universe, everything you see, is made from one single intelligent, thinking substance. Yeah, it's basically this formless stuff that's alive and creates things based on thought. Kind of like the universe's raw, intelligent clay just waiting for a sculptor. Now, the author's super clear on this next part. To even start, you have to accept three things, basically on faith. Number one, you've got to believe this thinking stuff is real. Number two, you have to believe that a thought you hold in that substance will actually produce the thing you're thinking about. And number three, and this is the big one, you have to believe that your thoughts can kickstart that whole creation process. Okay, so if that's the foundation, what's the first step? Well, it's all about the mental work. How do you actually impress your thoughts onto this universal substance? The book gives us a really specific three-part mental checklist. First up, you have to form a crystal clear, super definite mental picture of what you want. We're not talking about a vague wish for more money. No, we're talking a sharp, detailed image. Then, you have to hold that vision with an unshakable purpose to make it real. And finally, you need an unwavering faith that it is, in fact, already yours, that it's on its way. And this really gets to the core of the mental shift you have to make. The book says you have to move away from what it calls the competitive mind. That's the mindset that thinks there's only a limited pie, so to get more you have to take it from someone else. Instead, you have to adopt the creative mind. This mind doesn't see a limited pie. It believes the supply is limitless, and you're not taking from anyone. You're creating what you want from that formless substance. So, the big question is, how do you stay in that creative headspace? How do you not slip back into old habits? Well, the book points to one single emotion as the absolute key: gratitude. It says gratitude is like the wire that keeps you connected to that universal creative power. And look, gratitude here isn't just about, being polite or saying thank you. It has a very real, practical job in this system. According to Wattles, when your mind is full of gratitude, it's naturally focused on the best of everything. And that focus is what stops you from falling back into doubt or fear or that competitive mindset. It keeps your faith strong and keeps you tuned in to that creative energy. But here's a really important point. Thinking and feeling grateful isn't the whole story, not even close. The book is super firm on this. You can't just sit on your couch and visualize all day. So, let's get to the second, equally crucial half of the method, how all this mental work actually translates into real-world action. So here's how it's supposed to work. It's a two-step dance. First, there's the thought. By forming that clear mental image and holding it with faith and purpose, you supposedly set these universal creative forces in motion. They start bringing what you want to you. But that's only half the equation.
Because the second step is all about action. See, those creative forces don't just drop a bag of cash on your doorstep. They bring you opportunities, usually through other people and just normal business. Your job is to act. Your personal action is how you physically grab onto and receive what your thoughts started moving.
So what kind of action are we talking about? Well, again, the book gets really specific. First, act now. Don't wait around for the perfect moment or a better job. Use what you have right where you are. Second, do everything you can do today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just win today, and do it well. Third, make every single action a success in itself. As you're working, hold that vision of success in your mind. And last, but definitely not least, is this core idea. In every single thing you do, aim to give every person more in use value than you get from them in cash value. Basically, make sure people are better off for having dealt with you.
All right, so we've talked about the big idea, the thinking part, and the acting part. Let's put it all together now and look at the complete formula. The whole shebang is laid out in the book.
So here it is, the whole system in a nutshell. Step 1, you have to believe in that thinking stuff. That's the foundation. Step 2, form that crystal clear vision of what you want. Step 3, hold on to that vision with unshakable faith and purpose. Step 4, live in a state of deep, continuous gratitude. And finally, step 5, act now. Do all you can each day and do it in a successful, value-adding way.
So, what's the supposed success rate for all this? Well, according to the author, because this is an exact science, failure is literally impossible. He claims that if you follow every single step exactly as laid out, the success rate is 100%. No exceptions.
So, we'll leave you with the question that's really at the heart of this whole thing. Whether you buy into it as a science or just see it as some fascinating philosophy from a bygone era, the book forces a pretty powerful question back on you. What do you truly desire? And maybe more importantly, how clearly can you actually see it?